But today, IBM is taking a leviathan leap in the AI and tech race to research, develop, and manufacture AI and quantum computing technology here in America. Big Blue announcing it will invest $150 billion over the next 5 years to solidify its lead globally in production of mainframes, which store and process data at speeds high enough to carry out millions of instructions simultaneously. And $30 billion of the $150 billion will go toward AI and quantum computing research and development and build out. This afternoon in a Fox Business exclusive, I spoke to IBM CEO Arvind Krishna about Big Blue's big bet on America and how he expects the investment to keep IBM and the U.S. at the head of the pack.
So Liz, we are extremely focused on leveraging American ingenuity and American innovation. When I think about artificial intelligence, quantum computing, mainframe computers, this R&D investment, coupled with all of the associated manufacturing, is going to allow the United States to be at the front of all those three technologies.
So when you talk about the money, we know that it's going to go into both R&D and manufacturing. I want to tackle the manufacturing piece first here, Arvind, and that's because the administration has pushed companies very hard to bring manufacturing back to the United States. You guys are already here, so let's talk about the mainframe part of this. You manufacture the mainframe in New York State, correct? And so what else is going to be put into the mainframe business?
So as we think about the mainframes, we're extremely proud. Over 60 years, we manufactured the mainframe in Poughkeepsie, New York. But now as you begin to think about adding artificial intelligence, making the mainframes quantum safe, making them proof against all of the cyber attacks that are going to come, all those additional capabilities are also going to go into the mainframe right here from New York State.
The Z17 mainframe has quantum-safe cryptography, AI-powered security. How much faster do you anticipate it will get with the money that you're going to spend in R&D?
Look, we improve the mainframe every couple of years. As I look upon it, whether you go back to Moore's law or you just take semiconductor innovations coupled with design innovations, coupled with all of the software that we put into these systems, I expect that each of these systems' total capacity doubles about every 3 years. So in this time period, we're going to see 4 to 8 times more capacity on the mainframe, not even coupling yet with all of the AI innovations and all of the quantum innovations that are coming.
Okay, that is fast. And that brings me to quantum computing. A big chunk of the $150 billion that you're going to spend will go into quantum computing. You guys already have a big fleet of quantum computers that are up and running. So my question to you is, they're housed, I think, in the data center in Yorktown, New York. You also have a hub in Chicago. Will you be spending some of the money to build new operations, or will they be spread between these two?
We are actually going to be building a brand new data center also in Poughkeepsie, New York. We're going to be housing our latest generation of quantum computers over there. You mentioned the fleet we have. We have so far brought 75 quantum computers to the cloud, 13 of which are operating right now, and you can access them from the hubs you mentioned. However, we are going to be building brand new facilities because we have set out a roadmap to build a fault-tolerant, think of it as an error-proof quantum computer over the next 4 years. And all of this investment is going to go towards those milestones, the added capacity, but also the roadmap to a fault-tolerant quantum computer.
Arvind, the big question is, how much of the $150 billion was already in place for a previous 5-year plan, or how much of it is new? Because we know that a lot of companies have come forth and said, we're going to spend this and that, and some of it was already baked in. They're trying, obviously, to get the attention of the administration. Number one, how much of it is new? And number two, did you work with the administration on this?
So if I look at our R&D number, we have increased our R&D spending by 60% if I look at it from a few years ago to what we're spending now. That R&D in turn fuels the manufacturing and fuels the additional investment that is needed. So if I go back to our numbers from a few years ago, we're looking at a good 60% above where we were. We are always in conversation with the administration. We really appreciate this administration's focus on American innovation and helping that drive global business. So you could expect that those conversations have been happening in the background. But this investment is from IBM. This investment is money that we are putting down because we believe in the economic opportunity both here and globally.
It's exactly, if I spoke for the administration, which I don't, but it's exactly what they want to hear, is bringing quality jobs back here, not just the basic manufacturing that China is doing. So how many jobs can you anticipate this money will create? And I guess that would go toward the new Poughkeepsie operation.
So we tend to hire, or will expect to hire thousands each year here in the United States. I do want to point out something that our economists and many others have done. High-tech jobs typically give rise also to 5 or more other high-tech jobs within the same vicinities. So I expect that our thousands then begin to result in tens of thousands of new jobs right here in the United States.
Well, your plan has been working. All you have to do is look at the stock price. The stock year over year is up 40% coming into today. The S&P was up 7.5% or 8%. So clearly, you guys have been running on all cylinders. Last week, though, the stock sold off when you came out with earnings, which beat on both the top and bottom line. I mean, the profit was a wide beat, and you guided higher than the street expected. But people obviously maybe overreacted, or they were really freaked out about the DOGE cancellations of some of your contracts. However, I know that your CFO had described it as less than something like $100 million of backlog over a duration of multiple years. I know U.S. government contracts represent, what, less than 5% of IBM's total revenue. Why do you think that people focused so much on that? And are you hearing that that's the end of the DOGE cuts for you?
Look, we are always in conversation with the teams that give us our federal contracts. Mm-hmm. I expect that is always going to be a continuing conversation. I do not expect that we have a large impact from all of those because the nature of the work we do tends to be rather critical. We help the VA process claims. We do payroll systems. We help expense management across the GSA. As you look at these systems, I think of them as being critical and not really optional. Now, in terms of the stock market reaction, we try to manage our company for the long term. We are committed to be great for our clients, bring innovation, be good to our employees, and with the cash flow and the revenues you pointed out, then our shareholders get a reward. That's the way we are going to manage the company.
And I have one last question. Just the impact of the Trump tariffs, or at least the tariffs that he has said are in place, other ones that may come in. I know that you have said that these impacts are de minimis for IBM, but where do you source your materials for your mainframes? Do they come from international sources?
There are some international sources, as you'd imagine, Liz. The electronics and the computer industry has a very wide global supply chain. But we have very few parts that come from China, if at all. We do have some parts that come from the Far East, but a lot of our mainframe is also manufactured right here in the United States. Some of our memory suppliers are here in the United States. The board suppliers are here in the United States. So as you put it all together, we expect very little of our mainframe is going to be impacted by tariffs. By the way, even for some of the other computers, we do some parts that come from Mexico, and we do not expect that to be of a significant impact either.
Good stuff, Arvind. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you coming on Fox Business to talk about this big spend. Big news.
Always good talking to you, Liz.